from wrong. And the tears been falling for so long. But the more you try to work it out, it seems you're going around in circles. But your best is yet to come. Activating success. Activating success. Activating success. Activating success.
Welcome to a new and inspiring episode of Activating Success. Today is a new day. Get up and do something positive with your life. It is possible to be whoever you want to be. Don't go away, stay right there. We'll be right back. Thank you.
And now, Activating Success with Love Idoko.
Welcome back. Today we're honored to have someone who has been an inspiration to countless people all over the world. He's a pastor. He's also a retired Major General. Today we're honored to have Major General Pat Akem retired. Welcome to Activating Success.
Thank you so much.
We're so honored to have you, sir.
Thank you.
So I'll start by saying, are there shortcuts to success?
Wow. There are no shortcuts that I know of. I think that success takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of you having God make some moves on your behalf, so to speak, if you are trusting Him. It is what we call time and chance happening, but time and chance must meet preparation, and opportunities must meet preparation. So you need to prepare. So there are no shortcuts that I know of to success. Success takes a lot of hard work. Then if you are working very hard, you can have some breakthroughs.
Wow. So you've had a lot of experiences in life, and you're an inspiration to countless people. As a pastor, you inspire people every day. What is the greatest lesson you have learned in life that you think people who look up to you can learn from?
Well, I will start again from that first question where we talked about there being no shortcuts. I think that the first thing one needs to do really is to have a vision, be focused, be tenacious, pursue it, be unrelenting. Never give up despite setbacks. And then the greatest asset you can have is the fear of God, because it gives you an edge, so to speak, because then it brings God into your corner. You see, life is full of challenges and competitions. If you are going for an interview and you're 120 and they will need only 3 guys, the 3 guys that will get it will have to be people who have been preparing for a long while. And then God makes some moves on your behalf, and then you get a breakthrough. In other words, there's something called favor, but favor, to attract favor, there are some things that you need to do. My most inspirational thing that I can say that has happened is that first you get breakthroughs that they come from God, but that you must prepare. You must prepare in such a way that you have an edge. I'll give you an example. When I was doing a course in Pakistan, we were 81 on the course, and I knew that the reference materials by way of books were not enough to go around. So anytime they advertise a lecture, they will put the reference materials. I will go to the library quickly, borrow them. Sometimes I'll discover that there were only 5 copies, sometimes 3 copies of a book. I'll borrow them, take them to my room, pour over them. Then I'll go to the internet, research, and get more materials. So when the lecturer comes and finishes the lecture and participants are trying to ask questions, I was making contributions. I did the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. By the time I was about the 5th time, the commandant of the college started taking note of me. And then he kept calling me to make contributions at every lecture. And then the Pakistani students started saying, Commandant likes Pat Akem. Commandant likes Pat Akem. So, one time the man called me to his office and said, "You are a colonel, how come I'm learning so much from you?" So you must be prepared. If you don't prepare, life will not drop success in your laps. You must prepare. If you want to be successful, you must prepare. One other thing you need to do is study those who have been successful.
Oh, yes.
Look at the things they did. Look at the steps they took. The reality is that at a certain level, we're all on the same level playing field. There are no disadvantages by way of birth or where you were born. It depends on how you take life. I lost my father in primary 5. He was separated from my mother before he died. After the burial, they had a meeting to decide my fate. And I was very small, but they allowed me to sit in a meeting. They asked my stepmother, "What are we going to do with this boy?" She said, "This boy loves school too much, otherwise I would have withdrawn him so that we would farm." Now, at that time, I hated farming with a passion, so it would have been tragic for me to leave primary 5 and end up in a farm. I believe that kind of lifestyle, by now, would have been nursing a third marriage, tired looking, haggard, frustrated. But when she said that, they now started debating as to who would take me over. And they settled on my uncle, who was a police corporal, now the father of the present governor. By the time I got to his house, I discovered I had 16 children. Then there were 2 other guys who had come to stay like I was coming to stay. So we're like 19.
Wow.
And the man was a police corporal, so you can imagine the kind of lifestyle we lived. He tried, but you know, food, we were young and we had appetites. So anytime they did the food, they would leave our own inside the pot. Before you say Jack Robinson, the pot will be empty. I never believed that you could eat and be satisfied. So from that kind of background, you would expect that I would be a total failure in life. And then to make matters worse for me, I ended up in a teacher's college because I couldn't go to normal secondary school where somebody could pay for me. But despite the fact that I went to a teacher's college, because I was reading, because I was a reading guy, because I developed a habit of reading very, very early, I used to finish a James Hadley Chase novel in a day and start a second one and go halfway before I would sleep. So I developed an early habit of reading. By the time I got to Form 4, I registered for GCO level on my own with the money they were giving us to go on holidays and come back. I saved it to register for GCO level. So first time in Form 5, I wrote GCO level. So I ended up living in Car Teachers College with 2 results, the Grade 2 Teacher Certificate and the GCO level. So in a sense, I became better than most of my mates because I was equipped. So if you wanted something that required GCO level, I had it. If you wanted something that required a Grade 2 Teacher Certificate, I had it. So despite my poor background, despite the fact that I had an early setback by losing my father, by the grace of God, I was able to take some steps that dealt me a hand that was advantageous. So anybody can succeed.
Wow, this is so inspiring, sir. Wow. In case you're watching us right now, it doesn't matter what you're going through right now. You have no excuse. Just like he said, focus is everything. You will always succeed where your focus is. Focus is what eliminates distraction. There are so many things you can do with your life. You are too loaded to fail.
I like
you
that.
have what it takes to be whoever you want to be. Don't go away, stay right there. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Hello, friend. I'm Mike Murdoch. Keep watching Activating Success with my wonderful, wonderful friend, Love Idoko.
This is Bishop Noel Jones, and I want you to continue watching Activate Success with Love Idoko.
Welcome back. In case you just tuned in, this is Activating Success with Love Idoko, and we have been speaking with Major General Pat Akem, retired. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. So you were saying something about being a grade 2 teacher. So how did you get into the military, and today you're a pastor as well? Well,
that's another interesting angle. I think that God knew right from the beginning that I was going to end up preaching the gospel, so he never left me, even though I didn't know him. I had a couple of breaks. I had a friend, Dr. McHenry Abraham. He's a medical doctor now in Makudi. what actually cemented our relationship was exchange of James Hadley Chase novels. I'll read one and toast to him. He will read another one and give it to me. So we're reading that, including books like Nick Carter. So we used to, just share the books. So when I finished from the teacher's college, I went to start teaching in a primary school. Then one day he just came to me and gave me a form, NDA form, and he explained to me how he got the form. While I was teaching, he was working with Makodogo government area as a cashier. So he paid one contractor, and the contractor said, well, let me give you something. So the man went to his vehicle and brought the NDA form to him, and he said, no, I don't want. He said, what is that? I said, NDA. He said, what is NDA? He said, Nigerian Defense Academy, that you go there and become an officer in one of the arms of services. He said, no, I don't want to be an officer. I want to go to Russia to read medicine on a government scholarship. The guy said, take it in case you change your mind. So he took the NDA form and brought it to me. I now filled the form and failed to return it. I just kept the form. A day before the exams, they announced on radio that the exam was going to be on Saturday. That was on a Friday. I obviously didn't prepare for it because I didn't even return the form. So he came again to tell me that the exam is tomorrow. I said, I didn't prepare for it and I didn't return the form. He said, well, take it there. Maybe they will accept it. I would advise young guys now that they shouldn't try that kind of stuff. Because
Exactly.
So I took the form to Padupa Secondary School. I think, was it Padupa or Tilegado? The school on the North Bank, where you're coming to Abuja on the right hand.
Okay, that's Tilegado.
Tilegado, yes. So I took the form there. That was the center for the exam. And I went, they insulted me. They said, you didn't return the form. I said, no, sir. They said, okay, sit down. If you pass, you pass. So I sat down, and then the first part was very interesting. It was objectives. It had chemistry, biology, French, all kinds of things. And since I went to teachers college, the syllabus was different. I didn't do any of those things. So I was guessing. I would select A, then I'll move to the next question and say, well, I selected A in the last question. Let me do G here. So I was just tackling it like that. Then the remaining papers, I wrote those ones because I was a reading guy, so I could understand stuff. So I did those ones very well. Shockingly, they called my name on radio some few weeks later that I was successful. I should come to India for the interview. I did, and then 2 weeks later they called my name again on radio that I was successful, I should come for training. When I entered India, the first day we reported, the senior cadets were on break, but a couple of them stayed back to welcome us. So at the gate, they collected our bags and were calling us sir. So I was telling myself that they're already respecting me, that I'm already an officer. I didn't know that they were my seniors. As soon as we crossed the gate, they started punishing us. But I made up my mind I was not going to run away because I had burned my bridges. There was nowhere to go. I knew that without the Nigerian Defense Academy, I had no way of getting education and advancing in life. I would have remained a primary school teacher because the prospects were dim. So I stayed in India, and the rest they say is now history.
Wow.
But I'm one of those guys that Nigeria has been good to. All the education I've received has been paid for by Nigeria.
This is so inspiring.
I went to a college that was free, Nigerian Defense Academy free, University of Lagos free, Nigerian Law School, all sponsored by the government. University of Kent for Master of Laws in UK, paid for by the government.
Wow.
National Defense University, Islamabad, Pakistan, where I got the Master of Science in Defense and Strategic Studies, paid for by Nigeria. So Nigeria has been good to me. That is why I am extremely, extremely patriotic.
Wow.
I do stuff for Nigeria, and I'm prepared to do stuff for Nigeria even without, because Nigeria has invested in me.
Wow.
The only time that I've started paying school fees for myself was when I started doing a PhD. At that stage, the army couldn't sponsor me because if you're a Major General, you shouldn't get sponsorship. So that has been the story of my life.
This is so inspiring, sir. In case you're watching us right now, this is very, very inspiring. Always remember that your present situation has nothing to do with your final destination. God can change your story. Just have a single focus, be committed, be hardworking, do something positive with your life, and you will be celebrated. Sir John Maxwell said something. He said that talent is everywhere. Talent is as cheap as table salt. The difference between a talented person and a successful person is how they maximize their time. So a lot of young people today are talented, but talent is not enough. What do you have to say to such a person watching you right now who is talented and believes that talent is everything?
I will ask them to, I will advise that they select a destination, which is what we call a vision. If you do not have a vision for your life, you'll be wandering in the wilderness of life endlessly, without pitching anywhere. You must make up your mind that this is what I want to be. Because Bill Gates had a vision, he had to drop out of Harvard. And today we've seen where he is. You must have a vision that this is where I want to go. Talent, if you go to the graveyard, you will see, if you were to know the stories behind the people inside the graves, you would discover that there are a lot of books that have not been written, a lot of songs that have not been sung, music that has not been played, a lot of literally works that were not done. You would discover bankers of high that would have risen to become bankers of high repute as very senior, very prolific writers, very senior lawyers, all in the grave because they didn't harness the talents they have. They were given by the Almighty God. So I think basically you need talents. You need to have talent, which everybody has. Some in small measure, some in large measure, but it doesn't matter what kind of talent you have, whether it was small or big. The vice president told a story one time he came to preach in my parish that is very instructive. He said when he was teaching University of Lagos, they had 3 clerks. One was a very senior one. He said that one, once it was 4, he would leave for church. He would go to church. So you could scarcely get him to do any work for him. The second one was like the assistant clerk. So that one too, he too would find his way and disappear. Then one guy who was just a secondary school guy, but who learned how to type, he did works for all the professors. So in the end, when the vice president became an assistant to Bola Ajibola at the Hague, in the International Court at the Hague, Bola Ajibola said, look, we need a typist here, a clerk, somebody who can do some work for us. So he said these 3 guys popped into his head. And then he looked at their work ethic, the hard work, the commitment to job. So one was very educated, he got the position of the most senior, the next one, so he selected the last guy. So they sent for him and then, from University of Lagos to International Court. He said the guy came there and worked so hard. He was not only doing Bola Ajibola's work, he was doing for other justices. They noticed it, so they promoted him rapidly. Then after several years, he moved his family. So only secondary school now. He moved his family, then ended up in the US.
Wow.
And then the same guy set up a business center where if you wanted a letter drafted quickly, you come. Then one day he just called him for the blues and said, I have a gift for you. It turned out to be a car. The guy sent him a car.
Wow. So
yes, in University of Lagos, he was the low-level clerk that worked for everybody. But you see, his talents came through. So talent is not enough. I told this story to illustrate the fact that talent, just merely possessing talent is not enough. You need to have a strong work ethic. And work doesn't kill. You see me here, I've sold kerosene.
Wow.
I sold kerosene on the streets of Harlem when I was in primary school. Me and the governor, we used to carry kerosene, be shouting, kerosene, kerosene on the streets of Harlem. I have hired boats to catch fish. I have hired boats to catch this thing, the people call a boom or something. This one kind of snail like that is on top of the water. I picked it up and sold. I needed to fend for myself because no father from primary 5. So I needed to fend for myself, so I worked hard. Now, so you must have talent, which everybody has. If you go to the Bible, even the least guy there, the Lord gave him 1 talent. It's just that he didn't use it. If you use your only 1 talent, it's enough to take you to where you're going. But the reality with talents is that the more you use, the more you have. You dwell on 1 talent, you end up with several talents. So you need talents, but you need to work hard. And for now, I'll tell the young people, acquire knowledge. It doesn't matter in which field. Read stuff. Just get a lot of knowledge. Knowledge will set one person apart. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. I went to University of Kent in UK. I was the only black guy in the class. but I graduated at top of the class. LLM with distinction and postgraduate prize.
Wow.
So everybody has talent. My talent was to learn how to read. So I started reading early. As a result of that, I developed some skills of being able to articulate words and bring them together. So Professor Yuglo used to tell me that you won't have a problem doing a PhD. You are a natural academic. Everybody is an academic. It depends on whether you pick it up and work on it. Everybody can become anything.
This is so inspiring. This is inspiring. What is your excuse? Read books. That you know yesterday does not give you automatic victory today. You must consistently update your knowledge. Read books. One of the greatest quotes I listened to recently was, a great man said that wasted time is more expensive than wasted money. Stop wasting your time. This story is so inspiring. I have been so inspired, and trust me, sir, it has triggered something positive inside me. Thank you so much, sir. Quickly, sir, I would like to ask, what, as a pastor, as a minister of the gospel, what is the strongest thought on your mind right now, that something that is on your heart for the people?
Oh, let me just say this. God decided that he will have plenty of people in heaven, in multitudes. But through his divine wisdom, he decided that they must come through the earth before they get back to him. In other words, as far as God is concerned, it's illegal to create people and leave them in heaven. That is why he sends children upon the earth. And God is not a careless God. He doesn't do things in a haphazard, careless manner. So when he sends people upon the earth, it's because they have purposes on earth. So you must find your purpose. And your purpose is not difficult to find out. It is what you do naturally, what comes to you naturally. That is what your purpose is. Once you found that purpose, and you are not likely to find it without God. But even if you manage to find it without God, know that the design for your life is for you to spend eternity with God in heaven. So in other words, you must connect with God. One way or the other, find God. Look, if you don't find God, you may truncate your dreams. Between the ranks of second lieutenant and captain, I was a drinking guy. In fact, between lieutenant and captain, I had 3 major accidents. And all of them were alcohol related. I somersaulted. I had a head-on collision. One time I went to a party in the Air Force Base in Ikeja. I was coming back on that flyover opposite Nigerian breweries in Ogomo. I didn't know the extent of the road again. So I went against, those railings, those things they built. The accident was so serious that today I have a dead tooth on the front of my teeth because I hit my face on the steering. Now, if I didn't retrace my step back to God, He wouldn't have known me. I would have been, my career would have been truncated because I was drinking in a way that I couldn't have focused on any cause. I would have been just a drinking guy. I would have left either as a captain or at best a major. You need to find your purpose and then focus on God, and God will help you through. I won't count myself a successful person, but whatever I've been able to attain, without God, it would have been impossible. You see, this world we're in is a minefield. There are traps everywhere and dangers everywhere. You need the one that sees the invisible to help you to navigate through the minefield that is the world and life. So you need God.
Wow.
Now let me say this. Every day there is something new to learn. So Avin Toffler says the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write. It will be those who refuse to unlearn, learn, unlearn, and relearn. So you need to throw away the stuff you think you know. New stuff is coming up on a daily basis. So learn, but fear God.
Wow. This is so inspiring, sir. In case you're watching us right now, you need God, because every good thing you have ever seen in life is traceable to God. This is so powerful. Finally, sir, somebody is watching you right now who is depressed, who is confused, who is frustrated, and who needs a push to get to the next level. What word of encouragement do you have for such a person?
Well, as long as there is life, there is hope. The Bible says a living dog is better than a dead lion. You are alive, and only the living can praise God. So the first thing I want you to know is that God has not abandoned you, and that is why you are still on this side of eternity. No matter how far gone away you have been, you can come back. You can come back, you can retrace your step. There is hope because you are alive. Let me tell you, the reality is that the one that sends us on earth has the roadmap for our lives. If you do not connect to him, you'll be wandering around life trying to find your way around. You may stumble onto something that you think is even success. I've seen very rich people commit suicide. So wealth is not having money is not, it's a matter of being contented with what you have. But I will tell you, there is hope. God has not given up on you. That is why the devil has not been able to kill you. Despite everything he has thrown at you.
Wow.
You've been knocked down several times and you are standing up because there is an invisible hand raising you up. He has promised that he will never leave nor forsake you. So you can go back to him. You may be a drug addict. You can go back. You may be an alcoholic. You can go back. You may be weighed down by the burden of sexual immorality. You can go back. You may be broken down and out, or so you think. You are not out yet. God has got your back. If you reach out to him, his hand is already waiting to lift you up. Trust God.
Wow, this is so powerful, sir. In case you're watching us right now, I have been so inspired. In fact, I am speechless right now. I believe that no matter what you're going through, God can change your story. The reason why you haven't lost your mind is because God has been on your side. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're so honored. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. Wow, that was so inspiring. I believe you have been inspired today. Always remember that you are too loaded to fail. No matter what you've been through, get excited about your life. Trust God. Man will always fail, but God is always reliable. Trust God, and I believe that you will never be stranded in life. Join us same time, same station next week. Thank you.